Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you? I hope you're doing really great today. Cause Spirit, God is testing you, is testing your boundaries. And not just your boundaries, but testing like how healed you are. Cause you're about to move into this next level. Okay? And so what I'm being shown is that your boundaries are going to be tested big time. And then you're going to be tested how you respond when somebody crosses your boundaries, really like pushes you past this limit, pushes through your boundaries. And it's like, it's not funny, but like, I'm kind of laughing a little bit. And I feel like you're going to be laughing a little bit about it too, in hindsight, like in retrospect, when you look back and reflect on it. But in the moment, I'm seeing you are going to be challenged. It's like, and I see like a few situations happening. Like I'm seeing like something, you're gonna have to set a boundary first of all, with somebody where it might be a challenge for you to set this boundary. Okay, it might be a situation that tempts you. It might be somebody that is difficult to set a boundary with for whatever reason. You're going to be challenged to have to set a boundary with somebody and tell them, this is not okay with me. This is not what I want. This doesn't feel good to me. You're gonna have to stand up for yourself, okay? And it does feel like it might create a little bit of anxiety in you. Like maybe your heart's gonna be pounding, and it's gonna require you to speak up, okay? So that's one situation. But I am seeing that you're going to be in a situation where somebody is really going to test how healed you are. It's like you have done so much work to get to this point where like you're this healed version of yourself, where you're not reactive, where you can maintain your peace, where you can where you can really navigate situations that are uncomfortable in a way that feels aligned to you, okay? You've done a lot of work to get to this point. It's almost like you tamed this aspect of self that was very reactive and fiery and, quick to respond, Feels like a very fiery aspect of self. It feels like it has a little bit of like a stinger there, like a little bit of a, like don't F with me type thing going on, right? And it feels like you really have brought this into alignment where you are very refined about the way you set your boundaries and the way you carry yourself, okay? You're not like a hothead. You're not like quick to like mouth off. You've tamed this aspect. Like, oh, I was almost about to be like, woosa! Or like, hoopa! Yeah, like from Friends when Chandler does it and he's like, hoopa! But anyway, let me bring it back in. You've really tamed this part of yourself. But I am seeing you're going to be in a situation where somebody's going to be pushing against this. Like literally, they might be pushing you. They might be up in your space. Or it might just be a very clear boundary that you've set. And you set it in like a very calm, respectful way. You were very informative. You were very clear about it. You were like, this is not okay with me, and this is why. And I need you to respect that, okay? But this person is not going to. They are not going to. And what I'm seeing is you're going to be like, God, grant me the strength to not throw punch this shit right now. To not like what? And it's going to really require you to like dig deep, to like really demonstrate this level of healing, this level of calmness, because I see it's going to be a challenge, okay? But the reason for this is because you are about to go to the next level. And in this level, you're going to be exposed to people and energies that are not necessarily going to know boundaries, are not necessarily going to know respect. They're going to be, they're not at the level that you're at, okay? And I see you do like a lot of privacy. You do like a lot of personal space. You don't like people up in your space. You don't like to put up with like annoying people or annoying situations. Like I see you being very calm, being very reserved. Like, and when I say reserved, just like you like to observe, I guess. You're not like me. You're more like, let me just sit back and watch the situation. And I'm not saying you're not friendly, because I see you're friendly, but I see that you don't put up with people's drama and you don't put up with people's nonsense, and you would prefer to be alone than deal with this stuff, okay? And this is like when you're in a healing process and like you're raising your level of consciousness, you're evolving. There are a lot of people in this world that are just not operating at that level, and it's like they kind of suck. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So I see you going into a next level where you're going to be having to be exposed to or interact with people who don't know boundaries. And it's like, do you know how to keep your calm, keep your cool? Do you know how to navigate the situation in a way that feels good to you and is like, and showing up the way you want to show up? Or are you just gonna like lose your shit and like explode when you get pushed too far? And this is a test. This is a test to see how far you've come. I do see you passing the test. I do see you being like, God, I need you to step in right now, or I'm really gonna fight someone. I'm really gonna throw punch this bitch. like I see you being like trying to go zen. But it doesn't, like, it's really gonna test you. And it's really like, I feel like you're getting like, it feels like you're gonna get bumped, but it just really feels like, not like literally like someone's gonna bump into you, because that's like, you know, minuscule, but it's like somebody's gonna like just keep pushing and pushing and pushing to the point where you're like, all right. And so how are you gonna act? How are you gonna respond to that? Okay. Can you maintain your cool? Can you maintain your calm? Can you maintain your energy in the way that you've been working so hard all this time? Because when we're in our little bubble, everything's fine, you know? We're surrounded by people we want to be around. But when you go out of that bubble and you go out into this big wide world with people who are operating and it, like, very selfishly, they're not conscientious, they're not conscious, they're not, you know, they have no regard for other people's personal space, boundaries, like they don't have respect. Like there are a lot of people out there in this world that are like that. It's like, how are you gonna do in that situation? All right, so it's so much part of this plan, that of this path that you're on. And again, like I said, bringing you to the next level. Your frequency is really high. Your level of consciousness is very high, but you're going to be exposed to people at a low frequency. Not necessarily malicious people, not people who want to hurt you, people who are just like in their own world. They're like, they just very self-centered and like not conscious of others. They're very like, it feels like no personal space. It feels like they just don't understand energy the way that you do, okay? And maybe they're not as respectful as you are. So that's coming up for you. If you haven't gone through it, you're about to go through it. I do feel like when it's all said and done, you're gonna laugh about it. And you're gonna be like, I was ready to lose it. I was ready to lose it, but I didn't. And you're gonna be proud of yourself. And then, yeah, you're gonna realize, like, this is it. Like, you're moving forward. You are constantly evolving, and you evolve quickly. You go through situations quickly. It's like, it feels like every 2 weeks you're going through something new. Like you really master these different levels that you're at. And I mean, there's so many levels to keep working at. And God definitely be throwing a lot of stuff your way. And like I said in this other video previously, it's like, once you reach a certain level and like you're shining bright and you're like, I'm never gonna do that. It's really like, oh yeah, let me test it. Let me test it, see how much you mean it. So that feels like it's coming. It does also feel like there's some type of temptation coming still or again. And something like that you're dreaming about this too, because in real life, like in your waking state, you're able to resist this temptation. But there's a piece of you, there's energy there that is like really processing this in the dream state, because maybe there's still a piece of you that wants this thing, or like that could be tempted by this thing, but you're so strong and you're like, no, I don't want it. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm not going to go there. I love myself too much. I have too much self-worth to go there, or to allow this thing, or to accept this type of energy in my life, or to make this type of choice, whatever it is, because it's different for everybody. But there's still a piece of you that might think about it, might contemplate, like, what if? One more time, or what if I just do this? You know what I mean? But it does feel like you have a very solid grounding and a solid footing on everything. And it's just not worth it to you. That's what it feels like. It's not worth it to you to put yourself in that situation and have to backtrack and then clean up that energy afterwards. Because like, you are solid, baby. You are solid. You've come a long way. And because you were in kind of like a hermit mode, or you were in your safe space while you're going through this healing, there are people that you're going to come across, people from your past, people that you have history with, that don't know this side of you. They still think you're like the person you used to be before you went through this big process. You know, and it's that, it could be, it doesn't feel like you're going to be like put into situations with people who mistreated you, or maybe they did, but it doesn't feel like it's going to open up wounds for you. It does feel like you are going to have the opportunity to demonstrate how far you've come. So, what am I seeing and feeling? So maybe, okay, there are a lot of people around you with a lack mentality, people who are kind of stuck in this cycle, but you've raised your consciousness to the point where you are in this like abundant mentality. You practice gratitude. You have a beautiful gratitude practice that you do on the daily. And like I said, gratitude opens doors. Genuine gratitude opens doors. Okay, you have this solid and beautiful practice along with another practice of maybe meditating or connecting with God. There's a lot of communication with your higher self, with God, with even like your team, like beings, angelic beings and beings on your team. There's great communication, but there are still a lot of people around you with a lack mentality. And sometimes that can be frustrating, because it's like you want them to understand that we are creators here. We can create. Once we get to this certain point where like we deal with the past, we deal with all the conditionings and all like the mistreatment, the traumas, the pains, all the things that we took on, that we were subjected to, that we were at the mercy of when we were children. We go through that. We heal that stuff, right? And we or we are healing that stuff. And then we get to this point where we align with our higher self, we align with the God consciousness, and we realize that we are creators. We are unlimited creators. Of course, there are laws in this, on earth, in this dimension. There are laws that we have to adhere to. So it's not, it is a little more challenging, okay? But we basically can create the lives that we want for ourselves. We can create these abundant lives. We can create, you know, like your thoughts really do create your reality. And that's why God has made it imperative that you become so mindful about what you're thinking and what you're feeling, and honoring all of that in the moment for what it is, so that you can bring it to a place that is conducive to creating the things that you want, to bringing forth the things that you want, okay? For many of you, the things that you think about really do show up in your reality like very quickly, all right? And if you are to fully embrace your creative energy, you have to be so mindful of what you're thinking, because you don't want to start creating things that are negative or that are going to work against you just because you're having a bad day. You know, we want to honor our feelings always. We want to acknowledge them and honor them all the time. We are not judging the way that we feel. We're not shaming ourselves for the way that we feel. Even when you're being tested and you're having things come up like, I'm gonna fight this person right now. Like, that's it. Like, I'm gonna fight. Like, what? Like, let's go. Like, even when you have feelings like that come up, it's okay to just acknowledge that. But then, like, how are you gonna respond to that? Because the way that you respond, the actual choice that you make, not just your, you know, the way you feel in that moment, like the way you respond and what you put out into this world, like how you say the things you say, like what you do, that's going to make a bigger impact than just the way that you feel. Like if you're, okay, so if you're going through a situation that's really trying you and kicking up a lot of emotion, honoring the way that you feel is not going to create some type of negative experience for you. Not honoring the way that you feel and having it bottle up and then reacting in a different situation, that's going to create a negative experience for you. You see the difference? Like, your feelings are valid. So it's important that in every moment you are acknowledging your feelings and validating them and honoring them and giving them space to be. That's what God wants you to do. Like, this place is really challenging, and we have a lot of emotional energy. We have a lot of energy, mental, emotional, physical. And so being able to acknowledge things moment to moment gives you so much control over what you're creating in this world. It gives you control over your own energy. And it prevents you from making choices that are going to work against you. Okay? So you're going to be tested. Your boundaries are going to be crossed. You're going to have to set a boundary, and your boundaries are also going to be pushed against hard by somebody. All right? Acknowledge the way that you feel. Even if you feel negative in that moment, even if you feel like I am at my wit's end, I am losing my patience, even if you feel trapped in that situation in the moment, like you cannot walk away, like acknowledge the way that you feel, but be mindful of how you respond. Be mindful, like, the choice you make in that situation, okay? Always stand up for yourself, always speak your truth. But just like, are you reacting or are you responding? Okay? We don't want to just be reacting and flying off the handles, because then our emotions are controlling us. We want to be in control of our emotions. How do we respond to the emotion? Okay? And also, I see you're going to pass that test, and it is a test because you're about to move to the next level. So it's a really positive thing. Actually, this is a positive message, even though it's coming with a little bit of challenge. And, you know, you stand apart from the rest of people. You really do. You stand apart from them. And in this next level, you're going to be exposed to people who just are not at your level. You're going to have to come out of your bubble a little bit, come out of your safe space a little bit, and be able to navigate the world maintaining your alignment. Okay? It seems like it's definitely part of your destiny. And it's like a good thing. It's part of this plan God has, okay? So that's the message. Let me know if it resonated with you. I always love to read the comments, even if I can't get to all of them. I love seeing them. I love you so much. Thank you for being here with me. Always. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for watching this video. And also, thank you for doing your part and like doing all this hard work to get to this level. Okay, you make a difference in this world, and God is so proud of you. God trusts you. That's why you're moving to the next level. God feels like you're ready. All right? And I know you're ready. I feel like you're ready. I feel like you've been in this one space for a very long time, and like you just were very thoroughly going through all of your energy, just going through all of these challenges, just healing, loving yourself, honoring your worth, honoring your self-respect. And it's like you're ready to take it to the next level. But you know, it's gonna be a challenge, and you got this. Like, you wouldn't be going to this next level if you weren't prepared for it, and if you didn't have what it takes, because that's the way it goes, yos. So I love you. God loves you. Your spirit team loves you. And, you know, give it to God. If you're feeling challenged, give it to God. Give it to God. God always has your back. God listens without a judgmental ear. Okay? So, you know, God is that inside of you. You know, we always like talking to God because there's like the unlimited version, like the most high, like the highest level of consciousness. But God is also inside of you, and you are merged with such a high level of consciousness, with the God consciousness. And, you know, there's certain standards you have to uphold. Like, God puts you to a different standard than other people because you have a huge role in this world, and you're awesome. Okay? You're like an ascended master in human form. So I'm so proud of you. All right, I'm gonna go now. I hope you have a really beautiful day. It's a Sunday when I'm filming this. I'm gonna put it out today, so I hope you're having a beautiful Sunday also, but maybe it's not Sunday. Maybe you're in a different time zone. So I hope you're having a beautiful day. And I'm sending you so much love, so much peace, and so much comfort and strength. You're gonna get through this, and you're doing great, okay? I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.